Take a quiet walk through a Japanese neighborhood and you will notice something that seems to break the rules of aging. An 85-year-old moving briskly up the stairs without holding a rail. A 93-year-old carrying groceries with upright posture. A 100-year-old who's never once needed a walker. Now picture the contrast. In countries like the U.S., nearly half of adults past 75 depend on mobility aids just to move through their own homes. What causes this enormous difference? It's not luck. It's not genes. It's habits. Simple, powerful patterns built into daily life. Many of these quiet rituals that keep Japanese elders mobile, balanced, and confident have faded from Western living. This isn't another exercise for seniors list. You've heard those before. This is about rediscovering 5 natural, everyday movements that keep joints supple, muscles alert, and balance sharp. No gym, no equipment, just daily living done with awareness. These are not workouts. They're cultural rituals, grounded in neuroscience and biomechanics, that Western medicine has largely overlooked. In the next few minutes, you will learn what these habits are and why they work so effortlessly. Movements that keep the body young by working with nature, not against it. Before we begin, let us know in the comments, what's your name? And where are you watching from? Habit number 1, the morning reset. Not a stretch, a neural switch on. Most people assume that waking up stiff is just part of getting older. You roll out of bed, your back protests, your energy lags, and the day begins with resistance. So you reach for coffee and wait to feel awake. But stiffness doesn't fade on its own. It accumulates. Every morning you skip meaningful movement, your nervous system stays half asleep. Your joint fluid thickens. Your muscles forget how to stabilize you, and slowly, confidence in movement fades until even getting to the floor feels risky. In Japan, this problem was solved almost a century ago, not through yoga or stretching, but through a ritual known as Radio Taiso. Since 1928, millions have practiced it at sunrise, not for weight loss, but to gently wake up every joint, muscle, and nerve pathway within 15 minutes of getting out of bed. It's not a warm-up. It's a neurological reboot, like restarting your phone so every app runs smoothly. This one just happens to reboot your spine, hips, knees, and balance centers. Research from Tokyo Metropolitan University shows that daily joint mobility movement reduces stiffness by 37%, even in people in their 80s and 90s. The best part? You don't need to join a park group or follow a broadcast. You can do your own version in pajamas, in your living room. Just a few minutes of mindful movement that tells your body, wake up. It's time to live, not just get through the day. When was the last time you woke up ready to move without hesitation? Imagine feeling that every morning. Habit number 2, the floor transition, the hidden test of strength and dignity. Here's a question most people avoid. If you fell right now, could you get up on your own? Many older adults can't, not because of weakness, but because modern living has quietly erased one essential movement, getting up from the floor. In Japan, this motion is woven into everyday life. Futons, tea ceremonies, floor seating, these cultural habits require people to rise from the floor dozens of times each day. That single act builds full-body coordination that no gym machine can replace. Each transition triggers a deep neurological chain, activating glutes, quads, hips, and core in perfect sequence. It's the body's built-in fall recovery training. A study from Brazil in 2012 revealed something remarkable. People who could rise from the floor without using their hands had an 83% lower mortality risk over 6 years. Why? Because it reflects your nervous system's ability to control movement when life becomes unpredictable. In the West, high beds, soft couches, and raised toilets have made this motion optional. And in doing so, we've removed the very challenge that keeps us resilient. Reintroduce it. Practice standing from the floor once a day. Not as a test, as a reminder that your body still remembers what strength feels like. Habit number 3, the walking secret, how every step can heal or harm you. For decades, we've been told, just walk more, but few people ask how you walk. Most Western walkers take long strides, land hard on the heel, and lean slightly forward. It feels efficient, but each heavy heel strike sends a jolt of force through your joints, up the ankles, knees, hips, and spine. Stanford researchers found that heel-first walking generates 2 to 3 times your body weight in impact per step. Multiply that by thousands of steps a day, and the wear adds up fast. In Japan, walking looks different. Steps are shorter, softer. Feet land gently on the midfoot. The posture remains tall, the core subtly active. This style evolved naturally from centuries of walking in wooden sandals that made heel striking impossible. Biomechanical studies show Japanese-style walking lowers joint impact by 30% and activates nearly half again as many stabilizing muscles. That means every step is a small, built-in balance exercise. And here's the hidden issue. Many modern shoes, thick soles, rigid arches, elevated heels, block your feet from sensing the ground. Your feet stop sending feedback to the brain, turning a living, sensing system into a passive one. Relearn gentle, mid-foot walking. Move quietly, smoothly, purposefully. It's not about pace. It's about precision. A way of walking that preserves your joints, your posture, and your independence. Next, we'll explore the Japanese secret to maintaining hip mobility, the joint that determines whether you stay stable as you age. Habit number 4, hip freedom by design, how the environment keeps you mobile. The hips are your body's power and stability center, yet you can lose 40% of hip mobility and never notice until simple things like squatting or tying shoes become difficult. This stiffness doesn't arrive suddenly, it's sculpted by lifestyle. In most Western homes, we sit with hips fixed at 90 degrees, breakfast chair, car seat, sofa, repeat, for decades. Over time, muscles adapt to this limited range, and your body literally reshapes around it. In Japan, the opposite happens. Daily life naturally preserves hip motion. Floor sitting gently opens the hips. Kneeling in seiza position stretches ankles and knees. Sleeping on futons means squatting down and rising up every single day. These simple rituals keep joints nourished and flexible without a single exercise. And mobility here matters more than comfort. It's independence insurance. A Japanese Orthopedic Association study found that elders maintaining full hip mobility were 89% less likely to require a walker past age 80. They didn't stretch more. They just lived in an environment that required movement. In the West, we build for convenience. In Japan, they build for resilience. Ask yourself, has your furniture made life easier or quietly taken away your strength? Habit number 5, the balance environment, how homes train the brain to stay steady. In the West, balance training usually begins after a fall. In Japan, it's built into daily life, long before balance ever declines. Walk into a traditional home and you all step into a genkin, a raised entryway where shoes are removed. To enter, you must balance on one foot, step up, twist slightly, and reach down, a subtle but complete coordination drill done multiple times a day. It's effortless, but neurologically profound. Each motion retrains your body's proprioceptors, the sensors that tell your brain where you are in space. In contrast, modern Western design smooths everything out. Flat floors, railings, level surfaces. It feels safe but removes the micro-challenges that keep our reflexes alive. Balance isn't something you have or lose. It's a skill, and it fades with disuse. A study from Kyoto University found that elders regularly walking on uneven paths had 43% faster balance recovery reflexes when stumbling, not because they trained harder, but because their world trained them. So, challenge yourself at home. Stand on one foot while brushing your teeth. Walk on grass or gravel instead of pavement. Close your eyes for 10 seconds while washing dishes. Balance isn't lost with age, it's lost with comfort. Now that you understand that, you can rebuild it. Practical advice. Where to begin? If these habits sound inspiring but overwhelming, start small. Pick one area your body needs most. If you wake up stiff, begin with the morning movement ritual. If getting off the floor feels impossible, practice slow transitions. If your knees ache while walking, focus on your gait. If your back feels tight, restore your hip mobility. If you notice unsteady balance, try the environmental challenge habit. You don't need to master all 5. Just start with 1. Stay consistent for 2 weeks. You'll feel the difference, not just in your joints, but in how your body listens again. Mobility isn't about doing more. It's about doing what matters most. You deserve to move with freedom, not fear. Because growing older isn't about decline, it is about growing wiser in how we move. Japanese elders don't age gracefully because of magic genetics or superfoods. They simply never stop moving with purpose. They rise from the floor. They walk with awareness. They sit low, bend often, and balance daily. They refuse to accept that stiffness or dependence are inevitable. Now, you know their secret, and you can reclaim it. One habit at a time. Start with small changes, morning minutes, floor rises, mindful steps. Do them daily, and your body will remember how capable it still is. Because your body is always listening, and movement is still the language it understands best. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who deserves to live strong, balanced, and independent. Tell us your name, your age, and where you're watching from. And if you want more science-backed ways to stay mobile and ageless, subscribe. Your journey isn't ending, it's just beginning.